I just went 3 weeks with no air conditioning during the summertime in Texas. You can only imagine what that's done to my life and how it's thrown off my diet and just everything else. Because look, heat in Texas is ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And it just kind of threw my work schedule off because like I wasn't able to work in my office because it was so hot. And then when I got myself like a little small window unit, but then it was too loud, so I couldn't do any videos there or anything like that. So it's just been absolutely hectic. I wanted to get everyone an update on what's been going on because I haven't, released any new videos in probably a month. This is what's been going on. I've been sweating my ass off. The ramifications just expound exponentially because look, all my fruit went bad. When I go to the grocery store, you guys have seen like I load up on the fruit. Majority of my diet is fruit, and like the fruit would go bad so fast because of no climate control within the house. I'd get bananas that were green and unripe. Usually they take somewhere within 4 to 5 days to get to the point where I'm going to eat them. So, we kind of buy in advance. But they were ripening within like 1.5 days. And there was never a sweet spot to actually get to eat them at their best point. So like all the bananas we bought went to waste. Our melons were like hit or miss because, sometimes they do okay and sometimes they would, go bad within a day or two. So we couldn't really eat those. I bought these big jumbo mangoes that went bad like within half a day. It was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Not to mention, you can't find a fucking watermelon in Texas to save your life. I don't know why this year, like the watermelons are horrible, but they are absolutely horrific. I bought 3 watermelons. They all tasted like shit. So that's what I've been dealing with for the past 3 months. And from a bodily standpoint, my goodness, number one, like my body's working so hard just to keep itself cool, right? That I'm sweating profusely. I'm trying to make up with it with water intake, but I can't seem to balance it out. But the real kicker is that like, because my fruit went bad, because I wasn't able to eat my fruit, like we resorted to eating more cooked food, eating out more. And that has done such damage to my life that I want to share with you guys as well. Like first off, we wanted to be in air conditioning. And it was just it's one of those things. It's like we would wait for the moment. Okay, we'd get excited about going out because we'd go to an air conditioned restaurant, and obviously you go to the restaurant, you're gonna eat cooked food. So we kind of loaded up on cooked food in this 3 weeks, and I'm just paying for it, right? Because then you come back home to the hot box with all that cooked food in your system, and now you're sweating even more. You're sweating when you're sleeping, you're waking up, you're not sleeping well, you're waking up feeling bad. I'm dealing with inflammation. On top of that, I gained 10 pounds. So my body's going through edema now. It's holding all this water, due to the circumstances. And now I gained 10 pounds. So I haven't even talked about like from an emotional standpoint, what it does. Because, like I said, I'm not able to work. I'm not eating the right foods. My body's working overtime. I just don't want to be around anybody. My family doesn't want to be around anybody. We're just kind of just living. We're just there. Waiting, okay, when's the air conditioning going to be fixed? Waiting for an update every single day. So all these different things. Now, there is a caveat to this, an absolute caveat. So because it was so hot in my house and it was a fucking sauna, I wasn't able to work out, right? And some may say, well, that's horrible too. And it is in essence, working out is imperative, for a healthy life. But I had been dealing with some inflammation in my hips, as well as my lower back. And while I wasn't able to work out, I gave my body a lot more rest to enable it to heal. And like my inflammation and my pain in my hips and my lower back has subsided substantially. Obviously, I'm going to pick back up on my workouts and whatnot, but it was like I might have needed that few weeks to actually recover and kind of get myself back to where I need to be physically. Because sometimes I think we get into like a phase where we work out so much and we kind of ignore the inflame and the inflammation aspect of it, and we're working out at a rate that's faster than we're healing on the back end, and the healing is the most important thing. So you want to make sure you're getting that rest. So that's one of the caveats. So if there's a couple things I learned, number one is that rest is powerful. Sometimes you just need to take a few weeks off, especially if you work out a lot. Let your body rest, let your body recover a little bit. People talk about being sore. I mean, sore is a form of inflammation. It's ultimately your muscles healing, and it takes a lot of bodily energy and a lot of hydration to do that. So that is one thing I did learn throughout this chaos. Number two, man, I got to get the fuck out of Texas. I got to go. Like, Texas is a different beast. Especially, I'm in the northern area of Texas, like somewhat northern, the Dallas area of Texas, where, it's 90 to 95 degrees, but it feels like 100 to 105 degrees, and there's no trade winds, there's no ocean breeze, nothing like that. It's just a pure fucking sauna. So your AC goes out, you're in trouble. Like, there's no way to get around that. And we want to live in a place where you don't have to use artificial air. You don't have to use air conditioning. You can live in nature. We went to St. Croix this past March, and we didn't use air conditioning at all. And the wind, the trade winds that came in, it was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's the way we're supposed to live. And that's where we want to get. So that was another eye-opening thing. It was almost like the universe was letting me know, it's like, look, if you had any ideas about staying in Texas, I'm gonna let you know why you don't need to stay here. Air conditioning and electricity is expensive, especially when you're using air conditioning, especially in the hot summer months. We want to live in a place where we don't have to do that. So that was kind of like the icing on the cake for me. But that's what's been going on. So now I'm dealing with the repercussions of all that. I'm dealing with my body shedding off all of that cooked food, right? The inflammation I got going on in my adenoids. I had headaches on and off for a few weeks. So I'm recovering from that, but I wanted to share with you guys. I don't know if anybody out there has dealt with that before. No AC, especially in Texas or anywhere in the south part of America, United States of America. Please share your stories, because I wouldn't wish this on anybody. Definitely wouldn't wish this on anybody. But anyways, I'm back. I'm back to getting on, my fruit-based diet. I'm back feeling good, getting ready to make some content, and just, back to balance, normalcy. So peace and love, everybody. And if you've dealt with it, I want to hear in the comments. Let's talk about it a little bit. All right, I'm out of here. Peace, love, and light.